Hello guys, this is Nat Blue with a new tier list. So today we are going to be doing a list of anime that I've watched. Some of these I've not finished, mostly because of streaming service issues. I've watched all of these on Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime. I do not have Crunchyroll or anything like Crunchyroll, so that kind of limits the anime that I can watch. I've considered getting it, haven't pulled the trigger yet. A couple of disclaimers, I have watched all of these dubbed. I don't pay attention to TV shows very well. So if I watched these with subtitles, I wouldn't be able to listen to what's going on. Sometimes that's most of what I'm doing is just listening to what's going on. And I don't understand Japanese. So kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. Also, there might be some light spoilers in this. I'm going to try not to spoil anything big, but sometimes things just slip out. So we're going to start this list off with Pokemon. This is the OG Pokemon, Ash, Misty, Brock, Pikachu, that main cast. We're going to put this into A. This was probably one of the first anime that I ever watched. I was really young. I love the interactions between Ash and Pikachu. Squirtle is probably my favorite Pokemon, and he's in this show. Team Rocket was great. I love all of the side characters. The Butterfree moment was really great. Overall, just an amazing show. I think if we were counting the movies in on this, so like the Mewtwo movie and everything, this would be S tier. But with this just being the TV show, I'm just going to put it into A. Then we have Sword Art Online. This is one of the first anime that I watched as an adult, so a few years ago. We are going to put this into C. So I love Kirito, and I really like season 1 of Sword Art Online. I think the show quickly drops off in season 2. It's just not as good in season 2. It's not as good in the later seasons. So I don't want to rank this higher than C. I just couldn't stay interested in the show. I stopped watching after a couple of seasons. Next, we have Cells at Work. So Cells at Work is an anime about the different blood cells in your body. So there's white blood cells, red blood cells. I'm going to put this into A. I really enjoyed this show. I think the concept is really interesting. I loved the main characters. This follows a white blood cell and a red blood cell. Overall, just an amazing show. It reminds me a little bit of that older movie, Osmosis Jones. It reminds me a little bit of Osmosis Jones, and I loved Osmosis Jones. Then we have Kotaro Lives Alone. This is a Netflix anime about a young boy that lives in his own apartment. He has a toy sword that he carries around with him everywhere. He does his own grocery shopping, his own cooking. He sustains himself. This is an adorable show. I'm going to put this into S. I have recommended this show to a lot of people. A lot of people. Nobody's watched it. So if you're watching this video, I really recommend watching Kotaro Lives Alone. It's such an adorable show. It's such an easy watch. I really recommend it to anybody that just wants to watch something casually. Then we have Black Butler. Black Butler is also an early show that I watched when I got into anime. I think this will go into A. So I've only watched a couple of seasons of this. I haven't watched anything with like the circus or anything like that. But I love Sebastian as a character. Ciel is a really good character. Overall, I just really enjoyed Black Butler. And I kind of wish I had gotten the chance to continue watching. But like I said, I don't have anything like Crunchyroll or anything. So maybe when I get that, I will revisit Black Butler and finish out the show. Next, we have Seven Deadly Sins. So Seven Deadly Sins is going to go into C. I think the first season or two of Seven Deadly Sins was really good. I love the characters. Bon, Meliodas, Escanor, King. They're all amazing characters. And I really liked the first couple of seasons story-wise. And then the show just kind of tanked. The animation got worse. The writing got worse. And I just couldn't keep up with it. I stopped watching the show. And that hurts because I really liked it. I think the world building was amazing. The characters were amazing. And then the show just stopped being good. Then we have Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is probably the second or third anime I watched recently. I mean, I don't want to count Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! As anime that I've watched early on because I considered them cartoons when I was a kid. But Blue Exorcist, one of the first anime that I watched in my formative years, I guess you could say. I'm going to put this into B. I enjoyed Blue Exorcist. I thought it was a fun show. They did release something after the fact. I think it's from a different character's POV. I did not like that. I think overall the show's great. I wish they had continued with something else. I think the story was great. I liked the interaction between the two brothers. I just wouldn't watch it again. Then there's Hunter x Hunter. I'm going to put Hunter x Hunter in S. And I think a lot of people would agree with this. It's a very good show. I was going to put it into A because I didn't like the Chimera Ant arc very much. I think it was a little drawn out. It was a little slow in a lot of parts. But then the end of the Chimera arc is too good to not keep this in S. Seeing Killua's family was amazing. Seeing them fight was amazing. Seeing the old man that leads the hunters fight was amazing. Gon fully leveling up or like using his full power in that one fight was incredible. So because of that, I think it still deserves to be S. Killua was also one of my favorite side characters. I think Gon is a very good main character. Overall, amazing show. Then we have Akuma-kun. This is a Netflix show. Pretty recent. I think this came out in the last year or so. I'm going to put this in C. Or let's put it in B. I enjoyed this show. I like the main character. I like the side character with the top hat. That character in the background of the like poster is pretty cool with the red wings. I'm interested about a season 2. I just couldn't get too into this. I think if they did a season 2 has potential to be really good. Then we have Assassination Classroom. So Assassination Classroom, I'm going to put into C. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. A lot of people love this show. I could not get into this. I didn't care about any of the characters. I think it was well done, and I get why people enjoy this show. I just couldn't personally get into it. Then we have Way of the House Husband. I think Way of the House Husband is an A show. This was really good. It's about a Yakuza member that decides he wants to live a more normal life as a house husband in Japan. And he does a lot of cleaning, cooking, grocery shopping, stuff like that in the show. He runs into a lot of his old gang member friends. And overall, they just did an amazing job with this. I was a huge fan of The Way of the House Husband. It's hilarious, which really helps. Next on this list, we have Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re. Tokyo Ghoul, to me, is going to be top of S. This includes Tokyo Ghoul Square Root. This is my favorite show on this list. Tokyo Ghoul is my favorite anime. And recently, I learned that that is not a shared opinion. I was watching an episode of Trash Taste, which is a podcast by 4 content creators that live in Japan. They're not necessarily Japanese, but they've lived in Japan for a few years. And they made the claim that Tokyo Ghoul is carried by the theme song, and that's why some people like it. I just think it's a very good show. I love the main character of this, Ken Kaneki. Amazing character. I really liked the lady with the rabbit ears in the first season. The entire entire staff of the coffee shop was just amazing. Tokyo Ghoul Re, I'm going to put a little bit lower in S, but I think it's still S tier. I loved the One-Eyed King storyline. I really enjoyed the story between him and his mentor and the like ghoul hunters. I forget what they're called, but seeing Ken Kaneki as an adult was really awesome. Overall, I just think Tokyo Ghoul is such a good show, and I don't understand why people didn't like it so much. I get there were parts that could have been better, but overall, it's just an amazing show. Next, we have the most recent show that I've watched on this list, which is Good Night World. This is on Netflix. I'm going to put this into D. So, I think this is similar to Sword Art Online. They were trying to probably be a little similar to Sword Art Online, about how it's a kid in a video game that's over-leveled himself, and some stuff happens within the game, changes everybody's life outside of the game. I get the idea. I hated the main character. He's too whiny. He cusses too much. It's like a very unnecessary amount. And overall, the rest of the characters, I just could not care about at all. Nobody in this show was too interesting. I just think overall, not the best show. I was not a fan of it. I'm sure there are people that are a fan of it. And if you are a fan of it, I would love to know why. But I just could not get into this show. I watched the entire season thinking, it might get better later on, and I just could not get into it. Next, we have Food Wars. So for me, Food Wars is also S. I think it is so well done. I don't recommend watching this with like family because there's a lot of parts of the show that seem very inappropriate, and you don't realize until later on that it's not necessarily inappropriate. It's just the way that they show how delicious the food is, but it does seem very inappropriate. Then we have Death Note. So Death Note is also going to go into S, mostly because of how iconic the show is. I liked Death Note. I like L. I like Light. I don't think it's as great as everybody says it is, but it was still very enjoyable to watch. I think this was the first anime that I watched as an adult. So I think it has a place in my heart, a very special place in my heart, but overall, I don't think it's as good as some people say it is. Then we have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So I initially started watching Full Metal Alchemist when a friend recommended it to me. And then they came back and told me that they meant Brotherhood because I told them that the show was not good. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is amazing. It's a very good show. So I'm going to put this in third place. I liked Coach Well Lives Alone better, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is incredible. All of the characters are great. Roy Mustang is one of my favorite side characters. The two brothers are amazing. I really like the Humongulus storyline. Overall, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I don't know why I'm having so many issues saying it today, is a top tier anime, and anybody who hasn't watched it should watch it. Then we have Zom 100. This is a show about a businessman that during the zombie apocalypse decides to write a list of 100 things he wants to accomplish before he becomes a zombie. To me, this is A. I loved this show. It was really well done. I think it would be great to see later seasons of this. I kind of hope they continue this, but I really did enjoy this show. I liked this like shark costume thing they did in this. That was pretty cool, but I really enjoyed this show. Not shark costume, like shark suit. Then we have Mob Psycho 100. I just watched 2 seasons of this. A couple weeks ago, I finished it, I think. And overall, really enjoyed it. I'm also going to put this in A. I think this has potential to be higher up. I really enjoyed the fight in season 2. You know what? I'm going to put this down to B, actually. We're not going to put it in A. I loved season 2. Season 2 is great. The fight with that teleporting guy was really cool. A lot of the fights in season 2 were really cool. I didn't like season 1. It kind of took me a while to get into it, but I really enjoyed season 2. Next on this list is Yu-Gi-Oh! This is one of the first shows I watched on this list. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Will always have a special place in my heart. I love the monsters in it. I love the characters in it. This is going to go into C. I'm going to explain why. This is only the original Yu-Gi-Oh! To clarify. But I rewatched this a couple years ago. And I don't know if anybody's rewatched this show recently that has nostalgia of Yu-Gi-Oh! It sucks. The voice acting is so bad that it's so hard to look past. So I just can't put it higher than this. I wish I could. I just cannot put it higher than this. Next on the list, we have One Punch Man. I'm going to put One Punch Man in C. I've only watched season 1 of this. I couldn't find season 2 dubbed anywhere. I wasn't a huge fan of this. I think it was funny. It was a good show. I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't continue with season 2, I don't think. I know this is not a popular opinion. A lot of people love One Punch Man. I just think it was kind of boring. The only parts of the show I enjoyed were the funny parts. Next, we have Four Knights of the Apocalypse. This is a sequel to Seven Deadly Sins. And I'm going to put it top of C. So I enjoyed the characters in this. I really like the Fox. And I've been spoiled as to who the Fox is in the Seven Deadly Sins universe. But I do really like the Fox. I really like the characters. I love the main character of this. I don't want to rank it higher. It is only 1 season. And I'm kind of worried it's going to have the Seven Deadly Sins effect where it kind of drops off in quality. But overall, from what I've seen, solid show. Next, we have Japanese Tales of the Macabre. This is a Junji Ito TV show made by Netflix. I'm going to put this in D. I only watched this because a friend of mine really enjoys this like genre of anime and manga. I didn't like it. I didn't think the episodes were scary. I wasn't interested in any of it. Some of the episodes I just fell asleep in the middle of. Just wasn't a fan of this show. I don't know if it's something where Netflix messed it up. I know this is not the first iteration of these stories in anime form. So it might just be that Netflix dropped the ball, and I might enjoy this in a different format or a different like distribution. But overall, didn't like the show. Next, we have Naruto. This is the OG Naruto. So we're going to put this in A. I enjoyed Naruto. I like Naruto, Sasuke. Kakashi's one of my favorite anime characters ever. I loved Gaara. I think he really got time to shine in season 1 with the tailed beast. So overall, love Naruto, which brings us to Shippuden. So Shippuden's last on this list. I'm going to put Shippuden in B. Now, a lot of people are going to argue this because it's generally regarded as better than Naruto. I'm going to explain my reasoning. I do love the fights in Shippuden. I think the fights are on a different level than Naruto fights. And I do love the characters in Shippuden. Hinata really gets a chance to shine in this show as compared to the original. I think there's too much filler. And I think that the Ninja War is way too long. I've tried a few times to get through it. I cannot finish the Ninja War arc because it's too many episodes. Now, I know a lot of people, that's not enough to rank it lower, but I just can't finish the show, so I don't think it deserves to be in the same class as Naruto or Pokemon or anything like that. So that is my tier list. So top 5 for me would be Tokyo Ghoul, Kotaro Lives Alone, Full Metal Alchemist, Hunter x Hunter, and then Tokyo Ghoul Re. And then my bottom 2 are Goodnight World and Japanese Tales of the Macabre. So if anybody disagrees with any of this stuff, you can leave a comment, explain to me why you don't agree with my opinions. If anybody could please tell me why people don't like Tokyo Ghoul, that would also be very appreciated. I'm also curious if somebody could tell me if there's a third season of Mob Psycho 100. I would be interested in watching it if I get a different type of streaming service like Crunchyroll. I do plan on doing a part 2 to this video in the future. I have a second list that I am compiling of TV shows that I'm currently watching or planning on watching soon that I can also put into a tier list. So I will probably do another video like this in the next year or so. If you want to see that, you can subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified when different things come out. I do a lot of tier list. I enjoy doing tier list. If you liked this video, leave a like on the video. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you don't disagree with me too much. And until next time, peace.